Hello friends, today we're here feeding our worms. They've been in the garage. They've had a little bit of a blanket cushion on them because we have gotten everything from almost 80 as a high down to 50 something as a high, with lows in the 20s already, but then also lows in the 40s and 50s. So worms have been having a little bit of their first go at winter in Colorado here. So we're going to check in and see how they're doing with their food. So almost 3 weeks ago, they got a frozen container of food like this, and they had some food existing already over here in this spot, but it was going down quick, and I thought, we already have to get their moisture levels, to maintain, and we have to make sure they have enough food. There's 2,000, 2 pounds, 2,000 worms potentially in here. They need some food. They need some food. And so I figured the best way we could start getting the food and the moisture going is just start our rotation. So last time they got fed over here because they were getting fed in this general area before. Off the bat, it definitely has a little bit of moisture, but it does feel much drier than last time we checked in, which is not shocking because I haven't added any water since then. Ooh, and here's a good indicator. Our thermometer says it is 60 in the bin, so we're definitely going down. We had been previously at 70, so we're gonna have to come up with some ways to warm up the bin, especially as we get cooler temperatures. This week it's going to be a little bit warmer. We're going to be in the 70s, but next week we've got some highs in, like, I think the 40s or so. All right, let me bring you guys in for a close-up. But I really want to just keep feeding these guys because, well, we know that they need to be eating. So this is an interesting thing. We've looked at this before. We know we fed here, so we know there's worms here. I saw one or two. I don't want to disrupt them too much, but there's clearly a darker soil here, and then this lighter soil or coconut core from where it's drier over here. Now the paper has moisture to it, but obviously the coconut core is drying out, and that's why it has that lighter hue to it. Let's see what we got. Well, like originally we did feed them in the middle. So let's see what we can, are there any stragglers over here? I don't know. Oh yeah, there's one. Okay. I don't want to disrupt you guys too much. We got one big baby. Okay, we got a few over there. I don't want to disrupt you too much. Now this is what I'm most interested in seeing over here. This little wrap here is what we fed them in last time. Okay, there's definitely worms here working on it. Great. Okay. Oh yeah, our first worm ball, you guys. Our first worm ball. Can you see it? Look how bright he is. Our delightful worm ball in there. Look at them. Okay, well then I'm not going to bother them anymore. But what I am going to do is to try to help keep the processing going. We're apparently going counterclockwise in this bin. So if we fed here, then we fed here, we're going to go up here next. So let me clear out that spot for us so we can get another feeding in there. All right, so let's see. We're going to pull this over here. There's a carton, some tissues, some shredded paper. I'm not going to put this too far down, but I do know that they're probably not hanging out in the shredded paper, right? They're probably a little bit further down. So we just want to, my goal is just to move enough paper back so that we can get to at least the top layer of the coconut core so we can put our food on there. So I'm going to take this frozen container, but let's see what's in this one. We've got, apples, some zucchini, some grapes, an avocado peel. We know they like that for their worm balls. So we're going to take this and the 2 pieces of wrapping packing paper that we used from our move, because obviously we just moved across the country within the last year, have a ton of that on hand. We're going to use that. I'm going to wrap it up and put it in there. So here's the thing. We freeze the food to kill off any of the bugs that might have eggs or larvae already on the fruit that we get from the store, because there's a lot of stuff we can't see. It's wrapped up to help uh, distribute the moisture so it doesn't just drip straight down. We want it to kind of saturate this, and you can see it's already starting to do that. I only used the one piece of paper initially, and the part with the most paper is going to go on the bottom side, so that helps mitigate the cold. And then we're going to just take this other piece of paper here, and we're going to just kind of crumple it and put it on top. And now we're going to just slightly rearrange this a little bit. But here's the thing. If it's only 60 degrees in the bin right now, and we know that we only have another week before it really gets cold again, we're going to have to come up with some more insulation ideas. I'm going to go get some more paper and really layer the top of this, because I think if we know it's going to be cold in about 2 weeks or a week or so, I probably won't open up the bin just then. They obviously have food between these two spots, so we need to put as much in here to help keep some of that heat in. So let me go get some more packing paper. All right, so we just put a ton of packing paper in here. You might have noticed that I also pulled the thermometer up just a little bit so it's easier for us to get to. So hopefully this will provide a little bit more insulation in here, and it'll also help any flies, because we did see a few little baby flies around, nothing crazy, but you know, this will help kind of really suffocate them out, so to say. And hopefully this will help keep some of the warm air in. But I think we're getting to the point where we're going to need to get a heater out here for them, and probably a couple types of thermometers so we can keep an eye on them. In the meantime, I'm going to try and pull my blanket over, and then I'm going to try to find another blanket and see if we can't double or triple up on here. But they are, the house, I don't know if you can tell, the house is right here on this wall. Those are the stairs in, so they are potentially getting heat from the house coming out towards them, potentially, but it's still a garage in Colorado coming into winter. Okay, so we have 2 moving blankets layered up on top of here, and there's actually 3 layers across the top. The second blanket got folded, so it's a little bit thicker on the top, because if we know the heat's rising, hopefully that'll help keep it in. But I will not bother the worms, as much as I love checking on them, for let's say 2 or 3 weeks depending on the weather, and then we'll check in on them in the temperature. And in the meantime, I'll start working on some research for, I guess, some thermometers and some sensors and maybe a heater. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know, because this is my first time heating a garage, or part of a garage, for my worms. Okay, friends, thanks for hanging out with us today, and I'm so glad that we got our very first ever worm ball. We're almost a year into meeting out here in Colorado, and so to have that show up and have that little worm ball present in our check-in today is just such a relief. Such a relief. So I hope you guys are doing well. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I'm Alessandra. Until next time, bye, friends.